before the video starts, I'm gonna have to give another warning because all throughout the video I'm stuttering, messing up my words, getting confused on words. It's like 3 in the morning. I'm sleepy. I'm trying to get a video out real quick and then go to sleep. I'm sorry. Try to go past it, and if it annoys you, just I'm sorry. For the hideout and telling Yami they had received 5 stars, Yami would show them the chart that holds their stars, and they would see that they were down -30, but now it would be -25. Yami would call the Black Bulls to the main hall and hand out their pay. Asta and Yuno would send most of their pay to Hajj Village, but Vanessa would say keep a little to themselves, and they both would say okay. And she would suggest that they go to the black market. They would all agree, but Yuno would get stopped by Yami saying that he has a mission, furthermore saying that the noble he fought in the exams wants him to specifically escort him, and that Charmy and Finral are going with him. Yuno's mission would go around it as in canon, but when Klaus helped Yuno in canon, it would be Finral instead, who would teleport Sister Lily back to the village. As we see a man with golden hair and a 6-pronged star on his forehead watching in the background. To Noel, Asta, and Vanessa, they would go to the black market and it would go as in canon, but when the old lady gets her money stolen, Asta would waste no time using mercury bonding magic magnetic cuffs, cuffing the man, pulling him within a 5-foot distance, and is met with a punch from Asta. Like I said in the first part, Asta is the same strength as he is in canon, so this punch will knock him out instantly. Asta would give the old woman the bag of money and would tell Seke to return to the capital handing in the thief. The group would leave as we see the old woman transform into the same man with golden hair and the 6-pronged star on his forehead as earlier. The next day, Yami will gather the Black Wolves and tell them a new dungeon has been discovered on the border of the Clover Kingdom and the Diamond Kingdom, and that the Wizard King asked specifically that Asta and Yuno be there, and that he will be sending Noel along with them to gain experience, and that the Golden Dawn are going to be with them. Finral teleports them as close as he can to the dungeon, and they fly the rest of the way there. In the dungeon, they wouldn't get hit by any traps because Yuno would be using wind creation magic, heavenly wind arc, to fly the group over all the traps. They would eventually meet up with the Golden Dawn, which is made of Klaus, Mimosa, and some random that has no significance to the story. Klaus would ask why the Black Wolves are here, and Yuno would say they were sent by the Wizard King. Klaus would scoff, saying why did he send the lowest squad to such an important discovery such as a new dungeon. Both Asta and Yuno would sigh and ignore Klaus. Noel would be talking to Mimosa when she asked who were her 2 new squad mates and why do they look kind of like her. Noel would call over the two and introduce her to Mimosa. Noel would say, Asta and Yuno, this is Mimosa. Mimosa, these are my brothers, Asta and Yuno. Mimosa's eyes will widen as and asks why she's never met them. Yuno would speak up saying that they were left at a village many years ago and they never knew that they were that they were royals until a few weeks ago. Mimosa would say that Asta and Yuno Mimosa would say to Asta and Yuno that they are her older cousin. If you don't know, Mimosa's birthday is August the 26th, and in this what if Asta, Yuno, and Noel's birthday is gonna be on November the 15th, which is Noel's canon birthday. This would surprise the two, and they look at Noel asking why she never told them they had a cousin. She would shrug her shoulders and say with a smile that it never crossed her mind. Asta, Yuno, and Mimosa would look at her blankly as Klaus would say that they should have a race and that whoever reached the treasure hall first was the better squad. Asta would say there's no point and that they should get there as quickly as possible just in case there are any diamond mages here. Everyone would agree, and Yuno would use his wind creation magic, heavily wind arc once more, and Noel would use her plant creation magic flower post guide. I can't speak to that. I'm sorry. Magic flower guidepost, allowing them to get to the treasure hall gate a lot quicker and avoiding the smoke mage. Once they reach there, Yuno would release his spell and they'd all land. They are all looking at the gate when suddenly Mimosa gets attacked by mineral magic. Asta, Yuno, and Noel, seeing this, will be shocked and scared for their cousin's life. Noel would protect Mimosa using water creation magic, sea dragon's lair, while she heals herself. The group would turn and see Mars, Mars would make mineral clones, which Asta, Klaus, and the nameless Golden Dawn member would begin to fight them. Yuno would engage in a fight with Mars. The fight would go better since Yuno is much stronger. They would be about even. Every attack Mars sends from the air, Yuno would use his wind magic to repel it, and every attack Mars sent from the ground, Yuno would use wind magic Gale White Bow, destroying the attack before it ever reached them. After the ground team takes out all the mineral clones, Asta will begin helping Yuno by sending various attacks at Mars, and Yuno would increase the speed of these attacks, propelling them with the wind. Mars would use his heavy armored Titan, but Yuno would use his swift white hawk. He would use the biggest swift white hawk he could, along with Asta, who would say Mercury Magic Eagle's Dive, an attack where Asta makes a big eagle and the eagle flies in the air and then dives at the opponent, picking up speed and increasing its destructive power. Yuno's hawk goes for a frontal attack for his midsection, while Asta's eagle goes for a dive for Mars's top section. Mars would use his, I don't know how to say this, Leviatine to block Yuno's attack, but isn't able to move the Leviatine quick enough to block Asta's eagle dive, and the attack hits him head on, knocking him unconscious. Klaus would use binding magic on Mars, but Asta would find his binding spell too weak, so he uses Mercury binding magic, full body bind. Once Mimosa is healed, they all begin to think of ways to get through the door. When Yuno walks out, putting his hand on the door, infusing a little bit of his mana, opening the door. Everyone's eyes would sparkle at the sight of all the golden treasure. Everyone began to look around. Asta would follow the anti-magic bird, wondering what it wants. The bird will lead Asta to a golden button, which he presses out of curiosity. When suddenly a hidden door would open. Asta would walk in, seeing one large rusted sword, one medium rusted sword, and a scroll that seemed to be leaking grayish oil. We cut to Noelle as she's wandering around as she stumbles upon a scroll leaking blue oil. And as for Yuno, he stumbles upon a scroll leaking green oil. All three of them pick up the scrolls in front of them, and a gray, blue, and green light shines, confusing them. But we get cut off by Yuno, Klaus, and the nameless Golden Dawn extra getting trapped in mineral magic. As they look to see Mars with his harp along with Phoenix flower rope. Mars wastes no time in attacking Noelle with his Leviatine, but she was able to dodge, barely cutting herself. Due to Asta and Yuno's training, she has better reflexes and an improved physical body. I'm sorry, I cannot speak at all. Mars would send a barrage of mineral shards at Noelle, causing her to unsheath her sword and cut as many attacks as she can down. But due to her injury earlier, she isn't at her max capability currently. Asta would appear, telling Noelle to go to Mimosa to get healed and that he will take care of it. She would go up to Noelle using her sea dragon's lair, and as Asta would begin to cut down all the shards Mars sent at him, and would begin a counter, sending Mercury slashes at him. Mars would take all the attacks and send more mineral shards at Asta. Asta would be on the defensive, cutting down all the attempts, but every time Asta counters, Mars wouldn't feel a thing due to his Phoenix feather robe. He would find it strange that a person can have two magic types, but isn't given time to think it over as he dodges swords. Mars is gaining impatient and anger that a pebble is resisting a god. Mars would form his Leviatine once more while Asta is dodging attacks, and would aim it at Noelle's sea dragon's lair, and will go to crush the lair along with Mimosa and Noelle, who are inside it. Suddenly, when time stops, Asta, Yuno, and Noelle, they look all around at one another, and then they look to their side, seeing a little fairy-like creature yawning. Beyond the video, I'm going to explain what their spirits look like. Yuno's spirit looks the exact same For Asta Spirit, it looks exactly like Sylph, but with gray instead of all the green, and for Noel, it looks exactly like Sylph, but blue. I'm probably gonna have like Sylph be a sky dragon, just cause even though it's still like it's gonna have two forms. It's sky dragon form and it's fairy form, which is gonna be the exact same. It's like no difference in power. Same thing for Noel and Asta. Asta's gonna be a Mercury dragon, along with its little fairy form, and same thing for Noel. So I couldn't think of anything. So yeah. As time resumes, a larger wind, water, and Mercury attack were launched, and Mars deactivating and rendering Mars unconscious. As when the dungeon began to crumble and cave in, they would all hop on using Yuno's heavily wind arc, and Mimosa would use her flower guidepost to escape. But before they left, Asta would use his magic to wrap up all the items in the dungeon, bringing them in. The Diamond Mages got Mars's body, along with a lot more gold since they never had the encounter with the Clover Mages. The Clover Kingdom Mages. Sorry, I cannot speak right now. Once the group made it out of the dungeon, Asta would pull out all the gold from the dungeon, and after they talked to the Golden Dawn for one last